cover all areas. And if we didn't put it on our resumes, believe us, we have been there.
We have all been friends, soulmates, and sisters through one way or another for many years. And one day we decided that when women get into their car to take their kids to daycare, buy their husbands dinner, or go party it up with their girlfriends, there is not one radio station for them to listen, bitch, or relate to. We have decided to change that.
Men have sports, Howard Stern, and the news to listen to when they're stuck on the LA in traffic. Now, ladies, we have something to listen to. Please join us at a place where we can finally say what we need to. Don't miss out, and be sure to listen to Unsported and sport what you wanna.
Girls, 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 all have something to say. Some say their emotions get in the way. Some like them big, some like them skinny. Oh, girls, who's come this way? We must unite, this is the place. You don't have to show your face. Girls, be a lady of today. So say what you have to say. Because rocking the airwaves is the way. Girls, be a lady of today. So say what you have to say. Because rocking the airwaves is the way. Girls, 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 girls.
My God!
Oh my God!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is it.
Prepare to be astonished.
Unsported.
Hey, who knows where this wild ride is going to take us?
What are you people? On dope?
Sport what you wanna.
Are you sure this is legal?
I don't know. It's fun though, isn't it?
The big snowstorm and everything else, but we are back this month and we are full force, and at this episode of Unsported we are talking about love. Now this is a big subject here. Okay?
Exciting
Yeah.
news.
Yes.
One
And
of the biggest four-letter words.
big
Yes.
four-letter words. Yes, it is a four-letter word.
Yes.
I was thinking that. So yes, and we have a fabulous show lined up here. We have some amazing guests that I am so excited about.
Oh my God, great guest.
Great
Love
guest. Okay. So we have Gale Lee here from East End Hypnosis, and she's going to come on in a little while. She's going to talk to us about hypnosis, Reiki, and all the things, and love, and all the things that surround that, and we cannot wait to hear from her. One of us might get hypnotized.
I would.
Yes.
Hey, I'm down for that.
And from what I understand, our audience might get hypnotized
Oh my
too.
God. Well, that's what we
But
want. We want to hypnotize
When
them.
she gets on here, we'll figure out what that's all about and how that goes.
I think it's Reiki. No, it's hypnosis and Reiki.
Yeah,
Not Reiki. Hey, Reiki.
Reiki.
We got some
I will be
Reiki.
corrected shortly.
All right, just
I'm
making
sure.
sure.
Yes. Right? So we'll learn all about that. And then we have Cindi, Sansone, Braff. So excited that I've been trying to get her on the show for quite some time.
Yes.
And she's here tonight. I am so excited. And here's her book here tonight. We will talk more about this. Grant Me a Higher Love. She is a relationship coach and Newsday and Long Island's Press Best Psychic Medium. So she will be here too tonight. So all this lined up. In Ravio.com, and then
In Radio.com. We got some Reiki and in Ravio, and hey, where are we from? good vibes from something.
It's like I'm from London.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's like I'm from London.
yeah, you are so from London. Yeah, totally there.
It's not like I'm from Long Island at all.
No, not at all.
Love Long Island. There's some love. Okay. So we have all this lined up here tonight, but the telephone number, it's right here. Right?
Yes, it's 1-855-446-7284.
Also on your screen if you're looking at it.
Yes.
It's right there if you are.
You can't miss
on.
it. And if you want to put some comments or actually write in a question, you could do that, and then they'll hand it to us. Okay? So please don't be shy tonight, people. Let's get going here. Questions. We got some good guests.
Yes. So love.
Yes.
Love. How can something so good also feel so bad? Like, why is that? Why is it like, you get married, you're in love, and then like something so good can just make you feel so bad? And why does that happen?
I think it's because of all the things, like they say that actually, like there's tests that go on about love and how people, their chemistry changes, their body changes, everything. I mean, it's like the whole body goes through a metamorphosis of different emotions and feelings, and the brain, the serotonin, all of that stuff has to do with love. And then all of a sudden, you get hit with the flu.
Yeah,
it's like
this crazy feeling.
No, it's true though, really. I mean, think about it, like when you first meet somebody. I mean, Carolyn is like the newest in love with somebody now, and
yes,
you kind of can give that perspective because it's been a minute for us. And you can
been a minute. Carolyn's still in love.
Carolyn's
like,
still
that doesn't
feeling
happen.
She's still feeling the butterflies.
She's like, I don't know what you mean about he, because I'm just in love and everything's great.
Yeah, the last butterflies I encountered was when I was like Anne, having baby butterflies. I mean, I still love you, honey. I'm just saying.
I think it comes with, I think it comes with years of being comfortable with someone.
Yeah.
I think that the daily stress and the daily grind that you go through,
It is.
I think you tend to take things out on the people you love and that are around you. And I think that that's a good and a bad thing, but you have to remember where it's all stemming from sometimes too. Like, and I think there are things that I say to my sister that I would not say to anybody else. The fights that me and my sister have had, I would never get away with a friend. But because I know she ain't going anywhere, because she's my sister. And I think that when you're in a relationship, like me and my husband, like we look at each other and he says to me, like, I know you're always going to be there for me. I think that's why he can take things out more on me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
But as long as it doesn't get to the point that you're taking all the stuff, like you're throwing up on each other all the time, then you gotta.
And it's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. You're whether you're in a relationship or marriage or some type of domestic partnership, and you're going through, life and trying to pay the bills and trying to attack this and trying to attack that, and then, and then still finding time for love.
Yeah,
I think it's important.
I think that's one of the biggest problems is like when you do start having a family and those things start to happen, you kind of lose yourselves. And you don't really realize it until it's all the way gone, that you're like, okay, where did this go? We don't go on date nights, we don't do this. So, I think there's different phases of a relationship, and I think it's the gooey, I love you, and then, then you have to start putting together your finances and your life starts to become one. And when that happens, that's when you feel their stress and they feel your stress. And it's
I'm sorry, I mean,
go ahead. No, go ahead.
I think that I know it's very cliche, but communication is really the key. I see a lot of times with my husband, I'll say something to him like, for example, like, well, I've been doing this, and I did this, and I do that, and I need, like, blah, 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 and I did this, and I did that, and, like, he automatically takes it as that I'm saying he's not doing anything. Like, I think you do a lot. I think you do a lot. It's not what I'm saying.
The rundown.
I know that you're very busy, too. I know you have a lot, but I'm just telling you, like, I need a little help here. Like, I'm having a moment where I need some help. It has nothing to do with that you don't do this or that I do more.
Yes.
Like, I'm just... So
well,
I think
that whole 50-50 thing that doesn't exist.
Well, I think it's communication. I think, like, when I say something to him, he takes it a certain way, and this is just one example, but I think that happens a lot. I'll say certain things.
It gets worse.
Right.
It sounds like miscommunication.
Right. Yeah.
That sounds what it sounds like. It's miscommunication.
There's this thing that is supposed to be 50-50, and I don't feel like it's ever 50-50. It's either 60-40, 70-30, and at some point, I think it just kind of goes like this. And if it's 50-50, it's only a short time before the scale tips, and then it goes the other way. Maybe that's just my life,
No, I find everybody's life.
I find that it doesn't steadily stay 50-50. So let's talk about what about you fall in love, right? But there are people, okay,
I'm still at 50-50.
I know, but see, we're all living like
I'm like, I just get happy when I see my man.
I know. We're living through you, Carolyn.
But you know what, too? And I have to say this, I think, because Carolyn is older, and I think it's a good thing.
Yeah,
because you are more relaxed, you're more, as women hit their 30s, they become more in tune with themselves, and they understand what they want in life and who they are in life. And I think that's one of the reasons why you are successful. You have your own, you pretty much do your own thing, and you don't need
And now
a man.
you've found love.
And you don't need a man to fulfill that. So I think
So
for her, it's a
exciting.
good, I mean, I felt kind of the same way. I was never in a rush to get married and have children. We were kind of like on the same, wavelength there. But I think, it's just.
But you also did it a lot younger.
I was 29 when I got married, but I was just almost
God,
30.
I was a child.
Yeah, but I really was. I mean, I was like, I'm in the club, I was like, what?
Married at 26.
I mean, I was young.
24.
But,
I was married at 24.
Yeah,
I thought it was
well,
old.
I think Richie was older too. So Richie, for you, it was a good thing because Richie, he was at that level where he needed to, and you were too.
Yeah.
Even though different ages, you guys were at the same.
So what about when there are people that do fall in love with the wrong person?
Oh, yeah.
And it happens all the time, over and over. And I think also too, as women, I'm sure that, we're in love, you're in love with your partner, but there's got to be a point where you say, hey, maybe I could do a little better here.
See, you guys went too soon.
Yes,
You went way too soon then.
But I'm just saying, when stuff happens, I mean, I mean
because you
that
always think it's better
facetiously,
on the other side, and it's not necessarily
Exactly.
better. 'cause
Exactly.
You're gonna
No,
do
it's
the
not.
same
But,
stuff.
I don't think if you're a person that always looks for more and better and this and that other thing, I think that there could be a day or two that you say that to yourself.
Yeah, but I think sometimes it's
terrible.
good to
I know.
I actually could really say I don't, I want to kill my, I could really be very
maybe
angry at
yesterday I felt that way, but
I don't know. I
did
really
when you
get
said
very
that.
angry at my husband, definitely.
That's what
often,
I'm
very,
saying.
very often. But I can't picture, I never think to
no,
be
you
with
can't
somebody
picture
else.
yourself to be with somebody else. I get that. But
Yes, I don't
yesterday,
never
I
feel
had
that
a
way.
not so lovely day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, oh my God, I feel like I give everything. I give
Yes, I do feel that.
all my love and all my everything. And oh my God, how did I get in the wrong
Yeah.
And when I have a
No,
day
that's
like
like-
that, I'm
yeah.
thinking to myself,
You
and then today's a different day. Today we're having
It's a
date night.
Yeah, it's a good
Which
night.
is important in
Yeah.
love.
Yeah.
Tonight's date night after the show.
Midnight date night.
Yeah.
Well, I got my outfit on.
Right. She's all glittered.
Yes, I took care of my business. Going later. So
Is he napping or when you get home? What's
No,
he-
he's at a
resting
park.
up.
He's resting up. For
Yeah,
me.
it's okay. Just want to make sure.
Kids are out, and we got our date night because yesterday was not such a good
Yeah.
day. So I think that's important too.
I think so.
That you're gonna have days like that.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean it's the end of the world or that it's over. And I find that women are like that too sometimes. They don't want to, they're afraid to admit sometimes there's a problem or this or that because then you're not happy or people think you're getting a divorce or this and that. People have problems.
Yeah.
You can overcome them.
And you know what too? It's also is good to have good friends. Like when you have a good support team around you, that's important because there are some times where you feel like you are alone, in certain situations, and then your friends can kind of help you through it, and sometimes you just need a good laugh, or sometimes you just need to be like, I flipping want to kill him today, or I just really I don't know if I'm in the right direction with this, and sometimes you just need that. You need that. But I also think too, for people and in marriages and any relationship, sometimes it's good if you just respect each other. When I say I don't want to talk right now, understand the message, I don't want to talk right now. You know what I mean? There should be times where you should be able to take a break and then come back to it.
As long as you come back. My husband
No.
says it all the
Oh,
time,
say
and we
no.
never
I
wind
think-
up
I
talking
think it's
about it.
good to-
I'm with you too. It's never
Get it out,
It's like,
not now.
Not right now.
I can't right now.
Sports Center.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that, no, I'm talking
We're not
about,
there.
like, you
We're
know,
not there at all yet.
let's not say something we're going to regret. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
no,
that's
I get
when,
what you're saying.
That's when things lead to like a big
That-
snowball.
yeah. Oh, I
and
agree
then
with
you
that.
said something that you probably shouldn't have said because that person was nagging on your neck. So
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah, but you
know.
don't
I
want somebody
agree.
just to walk away all the time if you're
No,
trying to discuss
but I
something.
think it's
That's
good
how
to
it's
take
so
a break
annoying.
That would annoy
and
me.
come
I get it.
back. Doesn't mean that if it could be 5 minutes, it could be like an hour from now. But they always say blow off the steam, let the steam,
Yeah.
if you can't say nothing nice, don't say it because that's when things get in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I know when I fight my husband, if we're just like on each other and we're just like, this way, and then all
Nothing
of a
good
sudden-
ever comes
Nothing
out.
ever
Yeah.
comes of it, and then it's like, then you feel bad, and then it's the next morning, it's like, like you're almost doing that walk of shame, like, did I
Sorry.
say that,
Yeah.
and you feel bad,
Yeah.
but
But you know what? I also feel like it wouldn't, I don't know, maybe this is just my experience, but you're going to love each other, you're going to fight, you're going to do these things. I don't know. I know you're not there yet, and we're all envious of you.
She's like,
Yeah.
she's got the choir
Yes,
sound.
all envious.
I got nothing.
And
Birds chirping in her
I got
ears.
nothing.
Yes.
I got no venture.
Carolyn gets up in the morning and birds are taking her.
Right.
Yeah.
I got the morning glow.
Yeah.
Like, woo.
I
She's
know.
running through the meadow.
It's so good. We can't do this now. We can't.
No, but you know what? She, as I said, she has been through so many different friends, relationships, and stuff. You learn from that. You do learn from other
And
people.
you deserve this now.
Exactly.
You
This is
deserve this. You
He's
should
a good
enjoy
guy.
it.
He's a great guy for you.
We
You
like
love
him.
Stay in love.
We approve.
Yes.
Yay.
Two thumbs up, twist.
Yes, yes, yes.
No, it's all good.
So let's talk about first true love.
Oh.
Vinnie Calme in 5th grade.
That 5th grade?
Yeah.
Like
Wow.
first true love? Really?
Yeah.
No, I'm talking about
Oh,
the,
no.
like the first true love and that feeling that you couldn't have had it in 5th grade.
I thought I really did.
Really? Like
True
I'm
Blue
not,
was our song. I really thought I loved him. Vinnie Calme. I really thought I loved him.
He was Italian, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I get you.
He was really, really cute.
Wow.
I remember feeling, but I mean, obviously it wasn't love.
No, but it's funny because I think that, that first true love feeling, you never forget. You're not in love with that person anymore, but you go back to that
Well, that's what
feeling.
you're talking about, like older true love. Can
Yeah,
I just
that
say
older
the
first true
I
love,
gotta
and you're
say-
like, I really love you.
I
And
gotta
it's
tell you-
not even love, but
Yeah.
you had that feeling.
You think you're an adult,
I gotta tell you,
but living at home.
Yeah.
my son is 4, and there's a girl in his bus that's in 3rd grade, Desiree, that he thinks he's in love with. Like
Oh,
he really
God,
thinks he's
great.
in love with her. He talks about how he's in love with her. I was cleaning out something and I stumbled upon this ring that my grandmother, when she passed away, had left for me. So it was in a black box. So Anthony sees it. He goes, Ma, what is this? He opens it up. What is this? I'm like, when my grandmother died, she gave me this ring, So he goes, can I give it to Desiree? I'm like, oh, yeah, no. He's like, but I'm in love with her. And I'm like, Anthony, you're 4. You're not in love. But he really believes he's in love.
Wow.
Like, he watches too much TV, and that's my fault.
I
That's
think
what
that's
it is.
what it is. All right, so let's take a short break.
Yes.
And we're going to come back with Gale, and we're going to talk about some Reiki, some hypnosis, and we will be back in a few, so stay tuned.
Yes, and call in, people.
Good Times Magazine, New York's best entertainment paper for 43 years. Check out their calendar for all the latest music info, including New York City, Queens, Nassau, and Suffolk. Studio News brings you the biggest news about the hottest artists and sounds. Technobeat is your guide to electronica, techno, house, and dubstep. Packtrack keeps you up to date on the biggest events at the area's performing arts centers and theaters. Good Times Magazine gives you all this and more. It's bi-weekly and it's free. Pick up your copy today or visit goodtimesmag.com.
Radio.com.
Termite Marine Contracting offers all stages of dock building, including brand new docks, repairs on existing docks, pole setting, dredging, and decking. Termite Marine Contracting covers the south shore of Long Island from Massapequa to West Islip. With more than 25 years experience, full crews, and the right equipment for any job. Got a job you want done right? Call Termite Marine Contracting at 516-449-4567. That's 516-449-4567. Or follow us on Facebook. Termite Marine Contracting. When you want it built right.
InRevio.com.
East End Screen Printing and Embroidery. Shirts for as low as $3 with print. 631-281-TEES. That's 631-281-TEES. 1355F Montauk Highway, Mastic, Long Island, New York. Go to eastendssilkscreenprinting.com for more info.
InRevio.com. Fasten your seatbelts. It's gonna be a bumpy ride.
Jimmy's Diner, 1535 Montauk Highway in Mastic, New York. Food and eats, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m., 7 days a week. Breakfast and lunch. Phone 631-281-5700. Home-style cooking, Jimmy's Diner. Tell them you heard it on InRevio.com. Mauritius Bay Diner and Restaurant. Steaks, chops, wraps, breakfast skillets. The Mauritius Bay, 62 Montauk Highway in Mauritius, New York. 878-6827. The Mauritius Bay Diner and Restaurant in New York.
I get so lost. InRevio.com. Broadcasting to 7.2 billion people. InRevio.
Hello and welcome back to Unsported. Yay! Tonight we are talking about love. It's big, it's fresh, it's good.
It's heartbreaking.
It feels so good.
Yes.
Yes, some of us will be having it later.
I think Donna's just ready. I mean, just go home now. Go home.
You are.
I know, I'm tense up. I spent too long.
He better not
3
disappoint.
kids, dude.
Richie!
I'm pretty fresh, but you know what? I'm in a rut.
Wait,
Yeah.
but you have a date night later. Are you going to be making love, or are you just going to be all out?
I have all the kids out of the house. I mean, I got them all in different spots. It's good. It's good. There's no being quiet.
I love it.
I got to break out your toys that you gave me that have dust on them.
I hope that doesn't have dust. Those things are sticky.
They haven't been opened yet. But either way, so Unsported here tonight, talking about love, and here with us from East End Hypnosis. Thank you so much,
Gale.
I'm gonna just call you
Welcome, Gale.
because you're like one of us.
Yes.
So you're with the girls. You're with the group.
Gale is good.
So yes. So a couple things about Gale. Gale is this is called an NGH certified hypnotist.
Wow.
So. Just so we know exactly what this means, and so our listeners know what this means. If you could just explain to us what that is.
NGH is the National Guild of Hypnotists. It is one of the largest hypnosis organizations out there now, although there are others. And so we originally certify and train with them, but then every year we have to do continuing ed, and so we share ideas, and wonderful organization. We have an annual convention in, let's see, where are we? Boston somewhere. No, Massachusetts.
Yeah.
And so you go and you see all the different things that people do with hypnosis, and it's from the very straight lose weight, quit smoking, to some of the real things.
Like what's the out there? This is what we want to know.
Out there.
Yeah. Well, there's levels of out there.
Okay.
So
First level of, let me just.
We got to fix you.
Yeah, we're fixing you. I think it's your This
I think
is.
I'm tangled here.
We don't want
Can
to
I
move the
just
crystal.
move this
but-
to the back?
Absolutely. It'll work from any
This way,
angle.
because I make noise.
Yeah.
All right,
Sorry
look
about
at that.
We have technical difficulties on here all the time.
We
Aunt's
create
boobs
those-
are gonna fall out any minute.
These puppies don't like to stay locked down.
Bra's working today.
We even give her a new bra last month.
Can't do
heard
that. We're like,
I
Ann, you
heard
got
that.
4 boobs today. You gotta change that stuff up.
4 boobs are better than 2.
I don't have that problem.
It was like Star Wars. She
Oh
came
my
in with like 4 boobs.
Guys, hey. We're like, oh, hey.
Girlfriend, I got something for you. And before I knew it, my clothes were off. And I was all back down to 2.
Yeah. She
my
was
God, what
really
did I
back
say?
down to 2. As soon as she walked in, we were like, yeah, no. And we were like, what do you got? You got a bra for
I
her?
gotta tell you, Carolyn, I'm wearing that bra all the time.
Oh, I got more
Yeah?
if you want. I'll go to my house. I'll give you a few
Yeah.
more.
All right, can we get back to
Yes,
hypnosis?
yes. The way out there.
You had me thinking bras.
Yeah,
but
okay.
yeah.
So the way out there, give us an
So,
example.
well, there's levels of way out there. I'm a past life regressionist, and a lot of people.
What does that mean? I have no idea.
Yeah, a lot of people think that's out there. It's regression work taking you back through your childhood, into the uterus.
I've heard about this.
Yes, me too.
I
So
actually
you can
have heard
hypnotize
about
people
this.
that they remember what it was like when they were in the belly?
That's fascinating.
Sure.
That's fascinating.
And you know that's
Do they
that's
do they
the
like
part
it
that
there?
a lot of people go, yeah, I can handle that.
Okay, so
Because that's this life.
Right, but you know what? Do you really can handle it? Because you know, there's things that people do. I mean, I have things that happen in my life that I literally have shut out.
Well, sure.
And if I was to ever go back to that, I don't think I'd want to. You know what I'm saying?
yes,
so
I can understand.
And
you know,
right. And
like
yeah.
people who have had trauma.
But
Yeah.
maybe some people have to go back to move forward, right?
you can move back. You can move
well, if they're
forward.
still stuck.
Or you could be, that's what I'm saying.
That's
if you're
what- you
still
know,
stuck.
And
Like,
here's
I'm
the
good.
thing, if you are stuck,
Yeah.
if there's something that you can't even open the window to, some people say go back in and beat the hell out of it.
Yeah. Face it, right?
I'm not really sure that that's always a good technique.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is,
Yeah.
maybe once,
Yeah.
but then
gotta
then
move
there's
forward.
letting go of it.
Yeah.
There's accepting it. There's looking at it. There's forgiveness work.
Yeah.
Whoever that is that was the transgressor, even if you just thought it was a
Yeah.
transgression, even if it was just somebody saying I don't like you.
Yeah.
You know, some
How much
people
of that work
some
do you
people get
do?
traumatized by that and they never
No,
get over
it's
that.
true, yeah.
I do all of that.
No, I'm just curious, how much of that transgression work do you find that people are opening up more to?
Some
think more now?
Some people come in there ready.
Yeah.
They say, absolutely, I even know what it is. I know what it is. So let's go to it.
Yeah.
Let me get in there. Let me work with the mother, the father, the aunt, the uncle, the whoever.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's all cleared up in one shot?
Yeah.
Not always, because
Right.
it's like, you know, the metaphor is peeling an onion.
Yeah.
You take
Right.
off the layer
but
and
there-
you feel better.
Right.
And then you go home and you go, oh, there's more layers. So
Yeah.
But so they go under hypnosis and you.
So the regression processes go back in time.
Okay.
So go
Okay.
back to things that
While they're
that
hypnotized.
Yeah, that aren't too surprising.
Okay.
Go back to a time when you were 18, 16,
Right.
a happy time.
Yeah.
Problem is that most people don't go to a happy time, even with the
Yeah.
suggestion.
But do they
because
remember
you don't
when they
remember
wake
all
up?
the happy times.
Do they remember when they wake up? So after they're out of.
They remember
okay.
when they're there. There's no,
Okay.
yeah,
so-
they remember all of that.
Okay.
So you go back, and
Yeah.
then you do a variety of stages, and then you go back to, just before you were going to be born. And the big question is, what did you know about this life? What did you know you were going to come in to?
And they
what
always
what
say,
lessons? The
to your point,
family?
yep.
Did you know this mother?
Do you believe you had a
What's your-
past life?
Well,
Can we still talk about
okay,
this?
so,
Like, this
so
is
this,
wait,
this is the
before
part.
they come out, what is
The
baby
baby's here now.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
What's
The
her-
baby knows the connection to you, the connection to dad, the connection to the siblings, the connections to the family. In fact, they select those.
Yeah.
I mean,
I've heard
and
that.
some
Yeah.
people say, I don't believe that.
What do you mean?
but-
No,
they
I
select
do.
those? What do you mean?
They
but
select
it-
you.
The more
Yeah,
work,
it's like you're chosen.
the more
Yeah.
work you do, the more
Yeah.
you
I
see
believe
it.
that.
I mean, it's not something.
Do you
that I'm
understand
just
that?
saying.
No, who chooses? What are you talking about?
The baby chose
The
you.
baby chose you.
And that's in even
From where?
religion. That's
From
even
where?
biblical.
From before that
Yeah.
was in my
That's
belly?
biblical.
I don't
Well, it's
understand.
in your belly.
Like
no?
the soul
Yeah.
of the
Yes,
baby.
the soul of
chose.
the baby chose you.
Yeah.
There's choices.
There's
that they
choices in
say,
life.
Right,
okay,
you got free
So
will.
you got this mom. Look at that. Look at the potential for the life. You could have this mom. Look at the potential for this life. You could have this mom. Look at the potential for this life. The area, New York, Las Vegas, Indonesia. There are
really
things.
special
My daughter's
right
like,
now.
I want to be a fascination.
I also think
We are special.
We are special.
As women,
Yeah.
we get to say, yeah, come on in and I'm going to help you live that life. Meet those lessons that you set out. Take all the skills that you have, because every child, when they come in, we shape them, but we're not really doing more than shaping them. They come in, they have a personality, no matter what you do, they're going to go out and live that life they decided on. Now you can make it a little easier, you can teach them how to control their anger, how to relate to people, how to get the dreams that they have.
Right.
So if you have a child that wants to be a musician and comes in, you can take them to the lessons, you can buy them the guitar, you can encourage them to step out and be in a band, you can support them, when they need the finances to get moving, you can sit in the audience and clap for them. So, we're not really picking for them. You just kind of look and go, this is the child I got.
Yeah. I do think, though, that your actions on a daily, like how you behave as parents, as people, like not even towards your child, but also in your own life, I think influences who the person they're going to be, like how they take on their life.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Like kids who come from like parents who are a little crazy, like can turn out a little crazy,
Right.
And yet, even they chose. Now that's sometimes tough to handle.
Yeah.
Why would I select a mother or a father who is abusive? And I have a hard time understanding that. I really do.
Right. Yeah,
I have people that come and tell me incredibly horrible stories.
Right.
Where they come in and they are not going back to that. Because the minute they get in there and they see it, they're like, I can't do that.
Yeah.
And so some of the process is getting them in to do the forgiveness work, even if they don't want to go back and see the person. That's a tough one. I have had people say to me, absolutely not, I will never forgive him or her. And I think, ooh, so you're going to carry that hatred?
Yeah, that's
and you can't. You can't.
And
you can't.
It kills you.
It does.
Doesn't affect those people. They've moved on.
Yeah, no, and I think to your point too, I think a lot of things in life that, if a child does choose a certain parent and they want to, let's say, as you said, they pick a life that has a lot of trials and tribulations to it and a lot of challenges. But again, it makes them who they are. And it shows the world that, you know what, there are going to be things that happen to you. You just have to be strong enough to say, I've got to go on, I've got to forgive, and I've got to try to make a life better for somebody who's going to be the next person, coming up. So
see, because sometimes when you go through things like that, you then have more compassion and you can help the next person.
Oh yeah, compassion is key.
Yeah. So in order to help someone else, if I just say, "Oh, I can help you," and I've never been through it, you're going to say, "Yeah, well, how are you an expert?"
Right,
but if I've been through that and I can say, I have walked this path, and I found that this worked for me. Now you might say, okay, tell me how.
Yeah.
Now, my path might not be your path, so you might need somebody else that's done it a different way. But so that's the first part.
Yeah.
The this life is the part most people can handle, because they'll say, I didn't think I remembered all that, but wow, the minute I was there going to be born, I could smell the baby powder.
Yeah.
Like, where did that come from? Or, strange things like that. But that they can believe, because that's here.
Can we backtrack 1 second?
Yeah.
Sorry. I just wanted to talk about, like, the hypnosis part. Like, I know we're getting off here, but I did want to talk about the hypnosis part and how, maybe like what some of those techniques are and how you do that, and then, I know we're going off.
No, that's okay.
But I just want to try to talk about the hypnosis part and, like, how did you learn those techniques and what are they mainly used for?
Yeah, it's a long question.
Well, you can answer it
okay,
however you want.
Let's see. Where do I start?
Like, what are some of the techniques? Like I'll tell you what, if I was a hypnosis guy, I would be hypnotizing my husband to do things I want him to do around the house. But
if he didn't want to do them, there's nothing you could say or do that would allow him to.
So not everybody can get hypnotized.
Well, you're only directing where the person wants to go. So if you came for a hypnosis session, I would say, what do you want to do? And you'd say, I don't know, well, what do you want to do? What do you want to use hypnosis for? And it could be the standards, weight, smoking, release anger.
Yeah, let's go with weight and smoking, yeah.
I can tell you're wasting your money. No.
You'd be like, just hang out with me.
So you want to be more relaxed?
Okay, yeah, more relaxed.
You want to be less stressed in stressful situations?
And don't make me, if you're, are you going to hypnotize one of us?
I'm not going to do anything yet.
Because if you do, I don't want to say things that I regret.
You never would.
I have a lot of secrets. We're on the web show.
This is going to be fun. No, no, I would never do that.
See, I would. I can't learn this technique.
I'd be like, put her under, put her under. All right, so Donna, on the night of...
Well, here's the thing. You would never say anything that you didn't want to share.
Because
you would never.
How do you know that happens? I've seen people get hypnotized and they're like,
well, I know.
Don't know, they're quacking and they're...
I know
all
because...
All of a sudden they're quacking. No, I've seen people get hypnotized and then they say, quack like a dog.
So why do people do that?
I don't know. That's what I'm asking you.
Okay, people do that because they're already exhibitionists.
Okay.
They're the people that show up at weddings and after 4 glasses of wine, they're taking their tie off. Yeah. And you say, oh my goodness, where did that come from? That's there already. I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to a wedding and dancing on the table.
But I'm dancing on the table.
So she might actually let go of some things that...
Yes,
you would be the person. Now,
but I'm more about fun. I want to have fun. So yes.
Okay.
So I would definitely.
Here's how they pick. You take an audience and you start with who would like to be hypnotized, and you see some people going like this, and you see some people going like, and so you read their body language. Those people that are doing this, you're not going to call on because they're not going to cooperate.
Okay. Yeah.
But the people that are who would like to come up now, the ones that are too eager, you don't want them either. They already have an agenda.
Yeah.
But so you see the personality and you bring them up and you bring a group. And when you tell them to close their eyes and start to whatever and you walk around and there's some different techniques that...
How does it happen? That's why I wanted to get to this part.
Will you do it? I gotta see it. I can't wait. I'm so excited.
You want to do it to you?
Could you do it to me? Is it gonna do anything to the kids?
No, she's already chosen you. She knows this is happening. Well, hey.
Is it going to do anything?
He's going to be like, get me out. What was I thinking?
Is it going to do anything to the
Now,
kid?
I'm thinking I really don't want to then have to make sure that you stay on the stool.
I'll put my feet down.
You should do it to her.
Well,
She's
you
good
could.
candidate.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. I'd love to do a session with you, and I'm going to offer you that anyway when I leave. So all 4 of you. Okay.
Yeah, let's not do it.
Yeah.
I mean, who knows what will be coming out and signing.
We don't need her boobs out.
I have a lovely recliner, and that's so much easier.
And then my neck won't hurt.
I'm afraid.
All right, you want to do
Well, here's the thing.
I'll do it.
Here's the thing. Let me tell you what hypnosis is, because you're thinking woohoo.
Yeah.
You're driving somewhere you go to all the time.
Is it like meditation?
I think it's heavier.
Well, no, it's definitely heavier, but I'm saying in the essence of meditation, right?
Well, it depends on what your version of meditation is. But let me give you an example. You will
understand. Okay.
You're driving somewhere you normally go to, like work.
Yeah.
Okay. And it's a half an hour ride, and you go every day. Every day you drive on whatever, Sunrise Highway, LIE, and you're driving along, and all of a sudden you're there. And you say, well,
how did I get there?
I don't remember the last 20 minutes. What happened? That is the state of hypnosis.
It's kind of like when you leave the bathroom, you're like, did I flush the toilet?
It does happen a lot now.
Really tired. I'll be driving and I'll get
when you do it to all of us and see what happens?
When you are going to sleep at night and you lay down and put your head on the pillow and you hear the family and the dog and whatever's going on and you're aware of it, but you're not getting up.
Yeah.
I'm too comfortable.
Yeah.
No,
So you're not going to go anywhere.
Okay.
I mean, there are anesthesia states that people do, so they can do surgery, where they could have a remembrance, but they probably don't. You know, like anesthesia. when they put you out under anesthesia, you actually are aware of everything that goes in that operating room. So if the doctor they're doing a procedure and they say, oh my goodness, this person isn't going to make it. Like that could be the worst thing they could tell you because you are aware of that.
Oh my God.
All right, so hypnotize one of us.
That's scary.
Yeah, let's get hypnotic in here.
Yeah. Let's get this rocking.
I think the baby's on
Or can you do it and just see who it happens to? Like do it to all of us?
Well, here's the thing. I'm going to ask all of you to close your eyes.
Okay. All right, ready for this?
Now,
I'm so scared.
yeah. But remember, you're not going anywhere.
All right, I just want to see if this can really happen.
You're not going anywhere. Now, okay, so everyone's going to close their eyes, okay? And I want you to just take a nice deep breath. But I'm going to ask you to just, same thing, okay? Nice deep breath, okay? Breathe in, breathe out. And I want you to go to the deepest level of relaxation that you can today. I'm going to ask you to press down on my hand, okay? And in a minute, we're going to do a little bit of work where I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and look straight ahead of you with this spot on the wall, but not yet, not until I ask you to. And the listening audience, whoever else is out there, I'd like you to close your eyes too. And just take a couple of nice deep breaths. I want you to press down on my hand. Press down as hard as you can, okay? Take another nice deep breath and feel that relaxation flowing through your body. I'm going to count from 5 down to 1. I'm going to get to 1. You're going to go to the deepest level of relaxation that you can find today, okay? You good with that? So press down real hard. 5, 4, 3, 2, and I want you to close your eyes, feel the relaxation, and just allow yourself to go. Follow the sound of my voice. Follow the sound of my voice to the deepest level of relaxation that you can find today. And we're going to take a little journey. A journey to a wonderful place. A wonderful place. And so, in a minute, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and stare ahead at a spot on the wall and gaze in a dreamy-like manner. Okay? But not yet. And you're going to open your eyes and look out ahead of you. And when you close your eyes, when I tell you to close your eyes, you're going to go even deeper relaxed. And so go ahead. Open your eyes, and I want you to look ahead. Find a spot on the wall, a nice comfortable spot. And just gaze there and notice that spot. But I want you to feel how wonderful it was to be that relaxed. And so go ahead, close your eyes and go deeper relaxed. Deeper relaxed. And nobody really knows how deep somebody can go, because everybody has their own level. And every day and time has its own level. So take another nice deep breath, and I want you to feel the relaxation from the top of your head to the tips of your toes. And now I'm going to ask you to open your eyes again, but not until I tell you to, so close them again. And when you do, you're going to find that same spot on the wall, and you're going to gaze at it in a very relaxed manner. Okay, nothing too focused. And so go ahead, open your eyes and take a look at that spot on the wall, your favorite spot on the wall. And remember how good it felt to have your eyes closed and to feel your body so relaxed. And so go ahead, close your eyes and feel that wave wash right over you. Feel that relaxation. Now I'm going to ask you to have a conversation with your logical mind. Your logical mind is the part that analyzes everything. It analyzes every detail of your life. The pros, the cons, It's that voice that never stops talking. I'd like you to thank your logical mind because it does a wonderful job of keeping you safe. So go ahead, thank your logical mind right now. Thank you so much. But I'd like you to ask your logical mind if it would sit quietly during this process. Just during this process, if it would sit quietly and be the silent observer, as if it were sitting on a shelf just up off of your right shoulder. Ask it if it would take notes, be the silent observer, and you'd be willing to listen to anything on the way home tonight. But for right now, ask if it would be quiet. And just allow us to continue with this process. And we're going to talk to the subconscious mind, the part of you that accepts everything at face value, just the way it comes in. I'd like you to see in front of you a little brown cobblestone path, and I'd like you to put one foot in front of the other. One foot in front of the other, and feel the rough stones under your feet. And notice that there's bright green grass growing along the sides of this path. Beautiful, velvety green grass. In fact, you can smell that chlorophyll smell. What a wonderful, fresh smell. And continue walking along. And you notice that there are little flowers growing along the way. Some of them are blue, and some of them are red, and some of them are yellow, and how beautiful. And you might notice the scent of them. Beautiful smelling flowers. And continue walking along. And you might notice off in the distance a bunch of trees, real tall oak trees. And they sway in the breeze lightly back and forth. And if you listen very carefully, you can hear some birds that are nesting there. And they live there, and they're happy, and they're calling out to you. What a wonderful feeling. And continue along the path. And notice just ahead of you that there's a gate, a white picket gate, that as you put your hand out, you can open, and you can enter. And as you continue further along, the greenery gets denser, and you are entering your own private garden. This garden is a special place for you, a place that you can visit any time that you want. And you notice the little boxwoods, and the evergreens, and the tiny little plants and flowers along the way. And you might stop and feel one of them. What a beautiful garden. And off in the distance, you hear some water trickling. And as you make a bend to the left along this path, you see ahead of you the source of that water. And it's a 3-tiered fountain, a beautiful 3-tiered fountain. And the water starts at the top and it trickles down into the middle section. And as that fills, it trickles down into the bottom section. And you can see the beautiful flow of the water, and you can hear it running. And you can feel its energy. What wonderful energy, the energy of water. And you'd like to connect with that. So you walk a little further and you notice there's a little bench. A stone bench, a gray stone bench. And you sit down on it. And you might decide to allow your hand to go into the fountain and feel the coolness of the water. Feel how refreshing it is. Feel the energy of the water as you move your hand back and forth in it. This beautiful garden is yours, and you can come any time you want to feel this peacefulness, this safety, this sense of oneness with all of nature. This is your special garden. Nobody else is allowed in. So take another minute here. And when you're ready, but only when you're ready, get up off of that bench and continue along the path deeper into the garden. And as you make the last bend around a group of plants, you see ahead of you a little girl, a little child. And you notice that it's little you about 5 or 4 or 3. And you see her beautiful smiling face. And as you get closer, you can look into her eyes. This little you, this innocent little you. Put your arms out as you get closer to her. Ask her if she'll move forward and let you embrace her. And if that's okay, go ahead. Draw her close to you. Pull her towards you and much you love her. Tell her how beautiful she is and how perfect in every way. See her smiling face looking back at you. And I want you to remind her that the adult you that is reaching out and hugging her now promises to take care of her and keep her safe and protected through this life because of all the skills you've learned, all of the things that you have brought into yourself. Remind her that you're going to keep her safe and protected from this day forward. But also, as you gaze at her little innocent face, ask her to remind you of the joy of being in this life, of the joy of coming in and just being one with everything that's here and following that dream that you came in to experience with all of the wonderful being that is you. And so as you make this exchange today, the reminder that you're going to keep her safe and that she is going to remind you of the joy of life, of that joy you came in with. Take that with you. And in a minute, I'm going to count from 1 up to 5. And you're going to return here, wide awake, aware of everything around you. 1, shifting a little bit, coming back. 2, feeling better than before, feeling wonderful in every way, remembering this experience, remembering this garden that you can go back and visit at any time. 3, returning to this room, returning to the lights around you. 4 and 5, opening your eyes, wide awake, feeling wonderful in every way.
Wow.
I got a little dry.
Can we keep you in our back pocket? So when I go to this little side to talk and say, be quiet, I'll be like, Gale, come
That
on.
was relaxing.
That was good.
And you can absolutely.
Ugh.
It is very relaxing.
That was very
That was very good.
very relaxing.
It was very inner
Benches
peace.
aren't that comfortable.
Yeah, that's
so
what
I felt like I was going to fall forward.
Yeah, me too.
That's what was throwing us off. Yeah, I had my feet down. It was hurting my coolie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can. You can sit in a chair and still be in that
Yeah.
relaxed
Try
state.
for a break.
Everybody
that
wake
was
up.
relaxing. Now our audience fell asleep.
What did that hypnosis do? Like, what does that do when you're taking you to the place back to your? I mean, it relaxes. It's relaxing.
Well, and you can
But,
go
like,
back
what does
there
that do for
anytime.
you?
Once you can feel that relaxation,
Yeah.
all you need to do is close your eyes, take a few deep breaths, and say, I want to feel that.
I'm there again.
It's like-
Yeah, but why?
I didn't bark.
Well, because here's the
Quacking
thing.
though.
Here's the thing. When you
It was
can,
relaxing,
When
but,
you
like,
can
why?
experience that,
Yeah.
okay, that really is a meditative state. So
Yeah.
people will tell you all kinds of techniques to meditate.
Yeah.
They're all wonderful.
Yeah.
Everybody has, a different breathing
Yeah.
technique and a different whatever.
Right.
But if you can find that quiet space, you actually access your higher wisdom, the part of you that has the answers to everything.
I know, it's so true.
So when you go
but that
out,
little talky
people-
talk
Yeah.
that gets in the way, right?
Distracts you, and it's like, you should, you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Be the observer of your
Yeah.
thoughts.
But I do agree that sometimes people are always constantly they're like, I keep questioning and talking and I'm like, can you
And
just
yet,
not think of something?
when you
Don't you have the
silence that-
capability? But that's what, like, I feel personally, like, sometimes somebody will be like, what are you thinking about? I'm like, nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here.
Yeah.
I'm not talking to myself. I'm not talking to anybody. I'm just sitting here.
Yeah.
And, like, I guess I physically can shut it off, where some other people are constantly like, oh, what about this? What about this? What if I do that? If I do this, then I do this.
And,
and
you,
that,
and
like,
you meet those
makes it
people
crazy.
where you say, well, what do you think? And they go, I don't know. Well, they do know. They absolutely do know.
Yeah.
And in that quiet place, you have the wisdom, you have the knowledge for exactly what you need.
Yeah.
Now, she doesn't have the answers for what you need.
Right.
And she doesn't have the, but in that quiet space, you access that.
And we
Is
need
always
it.
the same garden? You always make it look the same with the blue flowers and the red, or you change it up?
Well,
Up here and there. I did see myself.
I did feel like I was like in the Hamptons somewhere. I was like in the Hamptons.
Yeah, you were rocking out in the Hamptons?
No, I'm saying like,
Your
I
garden
saw this,
was in
I
the
saw like
I was thinking, this definitely feels like a
Yeah,
stone bench. You said this definitely feels like a stone bench.
Yeah, that's right. It's sitting on a rock.
Well, when I took
All I knew was I had a sick outfit on.
Yeah. No, you know what?
You thought about your outfit?
I have
Yeah,
to
I
say.
totally thought about my outfit.
What were you wearing?
I was wearing this like white outfit. I felt like when I was in that space, I was like Snow White, this like sick outfit, and like Once Upon a Time.
Alice in
She just wants to go and have love making. But she's
Right,
so in that.
why
She's
is
in the
that- why are
zone.
you laughing
She's
at
a
me?
little girl.
I like open the
Okay.
gates.
No,
You
no,
know,
no,
it's
no,
like,
that's not when I was a little girl. I was wearing like a princess dress.
Okay. And if we had more time and we were doing one-on-one, I would say, and what are you wearing? You know, what does your hair look like?
Yeah.
I didn't even picture
I went
outfits.
back and I actually saw myself as like a 4 or 5 year old. Yeah.
Because you have memory of that.
Yeah.
You've either seen pictures.
It's a picture.
Yep.
It is a
And
picture.
Yeah, my
It's the only one I have.
Absolutely do.
Those damn crooked bangs.
She has one picture.
I have one picture.
Yeah, my mom always used to cut my hair. My bangs
No, I
are
was
always
the middle
crooked.
child and the first girl. You think that? No.
See, and you probably
All
wouldn't
right.
have remembered that.
Yeah.
Before we go to a break, because I want to
yes.
get Cindi on, just one last thing. You also do Reiki.
Oh, yeah, I wanna
Did I
talk
say
about
this
that.
right? So if you could
Reiki.
just Reiki.
Yeah.
Why would
Reiki.
Reiki does have a little.
I know I just realized you have your names here, so I can tell them.
Yes, yeah. We do this for the guests.
I was going to say that's not for you.
Yes,
because-
no, it's for you, so
Well,
you know who we
sometimes
are.
it's for us.
We're overwhelming,
Yeah.
so we try to help our guests.
So what is Reiki?
Yeah.
Reiki is hands-on energy healing, and it's called a lot of different things. I've been trained in Reiki, I've been trained in quantum touch, in integrated energy therapy. It's called hands-on healing. It is running that energy through yourself and finding that quiet space, and it's interesting. What does that quiet space do for you? What it does is it allows you to focus on your body and feel where there's tension. So if I feel tension in my stomach, I know that's a potential place for illness. Any place you hold energy and you hold it really tight, you stop the organs and blood vessels from working properly. So the more relaxed you are, the healthier you can be.
Oh God, I so believe that.
Yeah.
That's
So the first step of relaxation is really just to keep yourself, well, from the mind chattering and causing mental issues, mental breakdowns and things. That's when you can't turn the voice off.
Right.
And physical issues where you hold tension. Everyone holds tension in different places. Some in their stomach, so they develop ulcers. Some in their arms, so they develop arthritis. Now, is it hereditary? Yeah. Is it in the DNA? Yes.
Yes.
But does that mean you're going to get the same things that run in the family? Absolutely not.
Right.
Unless you believe that.
Right.
Yeah.
Sounds like we all need a
then
trip
that's a
to
whole
East
other.
End
That's a whole other
Hypnosis.
thing. Yeah.
So you're really about loving yourself
Field
and making
trip.
sure you're.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Well, and I think really feeling what you said is feeling that center, getting to that center and saying, what do I have to do to get back to this peaceful spot in my life?
Yes, because it is my life.
Right,
It
because
is
we
my
do,
life.
we need that.
And if I let
we
the
don't,
family,
we're gonna be in trouble.
if I let the husband and the kids zap all that energy and I don't remember to refresh myself, well, I could do two things. I could blame them, it's your fault I'm not happy, or I could find my own happiness and just let them do their own thing.
Yeah.
I want to do that.
I do that.
I have moments of.
I do
That's
that.
And then I get over it, and then I'm okay.
Yeah.
I'm most like
We
90%
love you,
of
Gale.
the
You're
time
good.
calm.
Gail is good.
But
Gail's
then when
good. And Cindi, I'm sure you're probably sitting over
Cindi,
there.
we got to get you on here. We have to go to a break. We
Yes.
get Cindi on.
Thank you so
But
much.
Thank you.
East End
Thank you.
Hypnosis.
Yes.
that was awesome.
We definitely.
Unsported is going to have a field trip there.
That was good.
I'm sending my husband.
Yeah. I think you have some
Tonight.
potential.
No, no, she's
Warning
busy.
label.
Yeah, but no, thanks,
But
Gail.
thank you so much. Gail
Thank
is
you.
great. So we will be back in a couple minutes with Cindi. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Come back.
Sun City Car Wash, Montauk Highway in Mastic, Long Island, New York. $9.99 early bird special Monday through Thursday, 7:30 to 8:30 a.m. Phone 395-6114. Sun City Car Wash. hand washes, hand waxes and detailing, interior cleaning, brushless, car wash club, Simonized Products, Sud City Car Wash, Montauk Highway in Mastic, Long Island, New York.
In Rave EO in Ravio.
Stop putting it off and start painting it up today at Ben's Paint Station, featuring Benjamin Moore paints, sick-ins, wood finishes, paints, and professional paint supplies, ideal for contractors and homeowners, stain paints and epoxies, family-owned and operating, in business for over 55 years, professional and experienced help, located at 2 locations, 55B Route 25, Coram, Long Island, New York, and 1495 Plaza, Montauk Highway, Mastic, New York. Call them at 775-7435 and 775-8135. Ben's Paint Station, featuring Benjamin Moore Paints. Log on to the Enravio Advertisers page today.
InRavio.com.
YouNeedAPart.com. Fast and free, the internet's top used parts locator service. Over 3 million part searches since 2001. Salvage yards, sell more parts. Become a member today. YouNeedAPart.com. Tell them you heard it on InRavio.com.
InRavio.com. Welcome to the future of radio. In Ravio.
Hello, welcome back to Unsported. So exciting, so exciting.
Now that you've had a rest.
Yes.
And so have we. Cindy's going to get you pumped up with love. Get up, get up, get up. We got inner peace, energy. Now we're going to do...
Yes.
Cindy's going to be
now we're
magic
here with Cindy. So excited to have
I
you.
know,
Can
I'm so happy
can I
to
hug
see
you?
I'm so happy to see you. I feel like
Okay.
I really know you because I did a psychic reading for her once.
I
So I
know.
know your soul and your
Yes,
heart. You know?
yes. Oh my God, she
And
is
it's
fabulous.
A small world. It's a small world.
Yes,
So
yes.
I feel like I really know you well.
I feel like I know her too. I know you too. I know I missed you. So
And
good
she's
to
so
hear.
bubbly.
Yeah.
And so,
She's love.
Yeah.
thank
She's
you.
a squeezer.
Who are you? Pinch your cheeks.
I love
Right?
that.
Tell my husband that.
Yeah. Oh, he'll be pinching your cheeks.
Around 12
Are you inviting me there tonight?
Yeah. She's going to be the love whisperer. She's going to make...
Yes, I know. So talk to us about this. First of all, this is Cindi, and she is a relationship expert and also known as the romance whisperer.
Right.
Yes.
So tell us how you got that name.
Well, I didn't come up with it. It sort of came up during a radio show, and I probably did about 1,000 of them when my book came out. So I don't even remember who came up with the little name.
Romance.
But what it meant was because when I do relationship coaching, I don't just have you and your husband in the room. Sometimes I'll see you separately and then come together. But I have all your dead relatives as well, who taught a lot of dysfunction, whether they meant to or
See,
not.
that's what I was talking.
They're
That's
the
what I was talking
ones
about before.
Who, you know, came up with the rules. You made your bed, lie in it, and meanwhile, a woman may really be in a relationship with a man who's really very abusive. And if her mother said, you know, you married him, you made your bed, you know, lie in it, and she's crossed over, that woman may really have trouble divorcing because she doesn't want to go against what her mother has to say.
Oh, wow.
So what the mother will come through to say, look, I should have taught you to love yourself the way you love your daughter, the way I should have loved you.
Right.
And that I really didn't know everything he was doing. I'll kind of give the person who's crossed over a little break here. She may not have known exactly what the husband was up to. But from above, they do watch, they observe, and they see an eyeball full. So what they'll say is, now that I know that what your husband's been up to and what he's been doing, I really want you to divorce him. I'm
okay with that.
and I will help you and guide you through it. So to hear people from above who may have also said, look, you're reliving my marriage whether you know it or not. in the present. I'm not reliving my parents' marriage. I said, really, you all do.
Right.
Yeah.
And your marriage will be his parents, your parents, God forbid, their step-parents. Now we're getting really complicated.
Yeah.
Right,
No, but
right,
it's true.
yeah.
But we always have to relive our parents' marriage because children are very judgmental. Anybody who has children realize that. You know,
Yeah.
you're fighting with your husband, your kids are eating popcorn, watching like a movie, thinking, oh, if I were married, I'd never fight. If I were married, I'd be so lovey-dovey. I'd fix everything. Nobody would drink, nobody argue about money. Because I'm so lovey-dovey, I'll fix it all.
Isn't that the
And
truth?
they get a little bit bigger and say, oh, why did my mother marry him in the first place? Most of the time, it's the prince that became the beast. Nobody,
Wow.
she had no
Right,
idea what she signed on
right,
for.
right.
Told her everything she wanted to hear. A year later, who's this guy?
Yeah.
And meanwhile, she's married, she's making her bed, lying in it, and she's staying it.
Yeah.
So children are very observant, but then they get a little bit wiser and say, well, even if I married the beast, I fix him. I know how to fix everybody. So we've got the little 3-year-old in us going to fix everybody.
Yeah.
So when in your marriage, you have to observe, sometimes you're going to be your mother, sometimes you're going to be your father. Whoever you judged, you know. I remember thinking, I'll never be a maniac like my father was. Oh, I'm going to be such a great parent.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm the best. Now, I only had one daughter, and God
Yeah.
said, okay, you little wise ass.
Yeah.
You're a teenager.
Yeah.
That anybody would murder.
Yeah.
And what happens is you find yourself being the maniac parent because there you are, you've judged it. So we've got to kind of stop judging our parents, kind of look at it saying, look, life's a lot harder than we thought when we're
They're
little.
human.
They're human.
They were
Exactly.
young for the most part. Here,
Yeah.
they're big grown-up giants. Were they
Think about how
19, some
immature
were
we were.
20, some
Right,
were
right,
23.
right, right.
Still
Yes.
immature.
Right. And meanwhile, we're thinking, you know, that our parents were all grown up and had
I know.
all the answers.
Yeah.
I know.
They were young.
And they were young.
They were
Yeah.
afraid of how they're going to put food on the table,
Right.
worrying about money. They were
It's the same thing we
reliving-
worry about today.
Right. And
Just in different.
different contexts.
Scenarios, right.
Different
So
ways, yeah.
realizing when you see yourself being your mother going, oh boy, now I know where that came from. Or you see yourself being your father. But also remember your husband's going to be, you know, with his parents
yeah,
back and
yeah.
forth. So we've got this kind of ever-changing thing. And most people never saw couples as equals. You know, somebody's always the boss. You know, in the old days, the men were the masters over women.
Right.
Usually in the Italian families, the first 20 years the men were the boss, the second 20 years, oh boy, my grandmother really gave it to me. But nobody knew how to be two equals.
Yes, two
where
right.
nobody's the boss, or worse, mommy to a boy. I mean, your generations, you're younger than me, your generation are a lot of mommy to boys. The American gigolos that don't want to work, they're not going to grow up, they get stoned all day, and you have to be mommy. So we really want to work at being two equals in a relationship.
Okay.
And that's what, you know, sometimes if you see yourself nagging, you don't want to be his mother.
Nah.
It's really unappealing over the long. And it's also harder to even walk away from a man that you turn into a boy. I mean, you may rebel against a master. That after 10 years that you had enough. But if you're mommy to a boy, if you would never abandon your kids, it's going to be harder to walk away.
Yeah.
So we've got to be
Right,
careful
right,
with the
yeah.
roles.
Yeah.
You know, being the two equals. And so what I'm dealing with is all the dysfunction that we've learned over the millenniums. I mean, my Italian grandparents had an arranged marriage 2 generations back from me. I didn't know that when I was growing up, but my grandmother was 16 and my grandfather was 26. They were terrific people. My grandfather was a Freemason. By the time he was older, he was an enlightened being, this man. I mean, I thought I was in the presence of Buddha with this man. So he was a very good man. And they just didn't really belong married to each
Together.
other.
Right.
So they did stick together.
Yeah.
Very much a business arrangement. Marriage is a business arrangement.
It
They didn't
is.
air their dirty laundry.
Yeah.
They stuck together like this.
They didn't go in
Yeah.
Springer.
They were thick as thieves.
They was thick as
Right,
thieves.
right,
But what it wasn't a great love affair.
Yeah.
And
Right.
so, you know, we're duplicating some of the things that we've seen where they weren't love affairs, they were business arrangements. So somehow love kind of goes up and down a ladder. And if you can visualize love like that, the arranged marriages were sort of mediocre. It looks like a sitcom. Everybody
Yeah.
loves Raymond. Marie and Frank Barone married 40 gazillion years, but
Right.
they barely like each other.
Right,
So
right.
a lot of marriages all look about the same. They didn't all start out that way. Some really started out at the top end of the ladder, soulmates, really loving each other, heart, soul, mind, and body. But without commitment to that love and commitment to healing, that's where most people have issues. They have trouble healing. They don't want to heal their addictions, or they keep being their mommy and daddy.
Right.
So even if you start at soulmate, it can go down to mediocre. if one of the, instead of going all the way down to the bottom of the ladder, which I call the toxic love affairs, the cellmates bringing out the worst in each other, ending in a courtroom, jail, morgue, or emergency room. Love goes up and down on a daily, weekly, minute basis. Your soulmate's here.
Amen,
You're having a bad moment. You will not have a bad moment, not the bad months. But if you're a nice person and you're having a lot of bad moments, and if you made your bed lie in it, or you're really committed to this, you may shut up a lot, and it kind of goes to mediocre. So all of a sudden we have soulmates down to mediocre. We have soulmates that go to toxic. Some wasn't soulmate to begin with. It was a man to fit a plan. My eggs are getting old, and I'm on Match.com, and I need a guy, and it's kind of mediocre. The mediocre is dangerous. That's why you need your date night.
Yeah.
Because over the years, now say you're married 15 years or 20 years and you have a teenage, your teenagers hate your guts in America, get used to that.
Yeah.
So you've got 2 kids who hate you or one, and a husband who's not talking to you. Dangerous position. Because some guy's going to come along and think you're the best thing since sliced bread.
And it's just going to feel so good.
Good to hear somebody not saying you're stupid or nobody listens to her. So really, if you're taking your mate for granted, really think about that twice, because over time it's just dangerous. You may not have started out thinking you're going to have an affair or that he will, but if you're not treating your mate heart, soul, mind, body, loving them, making love, keeping them from the temptations of the world, you're really going to find yourself sometimes with an affair as a wake-up call. I mean, I have a lot of clients, they love each other, they come, who's had an affair, and she's screaming, you're not supposed to have an affair, and I'm like, were you making love to your husband? Were you talking to him?
Right.
He had issues on his plate. Were you listening? Oh, no,
if
but
you
the
ain't getting
secretary
it
was
somewhere,
listening.
you're going somewhere else.
Your secretary's listening to him. So it's really keeping it up as soulmates, committing to your healing. If you've got addictions, you got to deal with them. If you've
but that's a good point that you bring up, but I feel like sometimes, like you're saying, right, everything that you're saying makes complete sense. I mean, it's right. But what can you do to rekindle or get out of that funk? I mean, it's easier to stay in it than it is to change.
It's a habit.
Exactly, it's
Humans
a habit.
Are creatures of habit.
Oh,
so
God.
visualize, she has a new relationship. So from the
I
start.
know, she keeps looking at us like,
No, from the start.
I'm having sex every 3 days.
It's 12 hours I haven't had it.
Yeah.
3 or 4 times a day.
Yeah.
But
No.
So picture that you start out as soulmates. You have to learn to say what you mean what you say without being mean about it. It's a very little thing to remember. So the first time you're with a soulmate and he doesn't talk nice to you, is the first time you're supposed to say, this is not what I signed on for.
Oh, yeah,
No, we have to learn to talk better.
Right.
And saying the I love you words a lot. They're very important to hear it.
Definitely.
Working at it. If you've gone down to toxic, somebody's got to stop the habit.
Yeah.
You're not responsible for your husband's behavior. You're only responsible for your own.
Yeah.
So if he wants to start throwing that hook, you ask him, what do you want for dinner? And he goes, what the hell is it to you? And he's yelling at you. You could say, I just asked you.
Yeah.
I guess I'm not making dinner, and walk away. Don't take the hook.
Yeah.
Stop with the fight.
I know.
It's not always about you.
It's not winning.
No, and it's just
You're not
really
winning when you're fighting.
toxic love serves a purpose in the world. People have a lot of anger issues. What are we going to do with our anger?
Yeah.
We're going to gun down people at Batman movie. No, we're going to pick somebody we love. We're going to rage like a lunatic behind closed doors and look normal in the outside world.
Yeah.
It's acknowledging that maybe we've got some anger, or maybe we have to deal with our anger issues.
Yeah.
But it's you really being determined to stop it.
Okay.
Like my husband will say to me, why do you always have to win? And I go, if this is winning, I want to lose. I go, if this is winning, I want to lose right now.
But it's also agreeing to disagree.
I love it.
It's just funny.
Like, I don't want to be
that's
right.
a huge thing. And
Like disagreeing to disagree.
Me and my husband do that
I
a
know.
lot.
And he goes, you fight with me and everything. Well, yeah, I don't. I just see
It's
different.
nature.
Yeah.
It's cool. I'm cool with
It's called you're getting on my damn nerves.
But also, like before you were talking about, sometimes, my husband is a great guy, and he is like just a really good man.
Yeah.
And he'll see me losing it, because, sometimes I have a lot of stress. And he'll look at me, he'll give me a big kiss. He'll smile at me, give me a big kiss.
Yeah.
What can I do to help? He's like this, what can I do to help?
Yeah.
Probably nothing at the
Right,
moment,
right,
but just
right,
the
right.
fact that he
That's
said,
right.
what can I do to help?
you know, I have had, like, when we're throwing parties or getting stuff together, like, I used to have fights with my husband all the time because he doesn't do anything,
And
or he
you're
does that,
nervous,
and where I'm like, can you just help me? And he's learned now to just say that, and just the fact of him saying that, there's nothing I need him to do.
Right,
I would, and, you know, I'm fine, but the fact of knowing that
What
he's
can
there,
I do to help you is the most
I'm like,
brilliant
enough that
words
I'm
you
good.
can
Yeah,
have.
it's so amazing
And
just
it
to
just
know
makes-
that someone's willing to support.
And instead of, why are you yelling and screaming at you for yelling, just understand we all
Yeah.
get nervous.
Right.
Life is stressful.
Yeah. Right.
Don't
Yeah.
take it all personally.
Right.
It's not always about you. You know what I mean? It's the
Right.
person's having a moment. So it's really loving your partner, liking your partner, cutting a little slack here and there.
Right.
Being honest and truthful and not judging so much, because a lot of times people don't want to talk to people who are judging.
Right.
So if you're
Yeah.
judging
Yeah.
everything your husband does in a way you would never judge your friends. If your friends do stupid stuff, you don't yell at them.
Right,
You don't
right,
call
right,
them-
right,
we
you
have
don't call
it's
you a
totally
moron.
different. Yeah, no,
You
it's
know what I
true.
mean? You say to your friends, okay, so you made a mistake. How
Right.
can we fix this?
Right.
But you know what? But as I said before, it's that time that sometimes you just need to take a break from each other and walk away. Like if you have a disagreement with your friend, you're not living with them. You're not there with them.
Right,
So the
right.
steam just kind of like settles down for a minute, and then it's like you guys can go back to having a conversation. Like I feel like sometimes I don't have that with my husband. I feel like I work at home, I live at home, I take care of my daughter at home.
Right, yeah.
I literally poop, eat, boop, doop, everything at home.
Right.
Everything is at home. So I never have that disconnection of going to an office, doing this. It's like I feel like I live 5 different thousand things in one person,
Space, yeah.
and one space and one umbrella. And sometimes I just feel like you know, like if I go out or I'm talking to my friends during the day, that's my conversation. I don't have an office. I don't have somebody to talk to. So it becomes very stressful for me. Like for me, I get very stressed. I get overwhelmed, and then I get
You'll do
like
hypnosis next time.
Right, no.
I'm so what's going on? Happy place.
I see
happy
myself
place.
on your couch.
In my house.
Yes.
Garden in my house.
Yeah. But
my
you know,
hypnosis don't bother me.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, you know, when women do take on a lot of things, we take on a lot of different roles, and we do put a lot of pressures on ourselves. But I just feel like, you know, when somebody has a place to go and they have those outlets, and when I go to the gym maybe once, you know, like 4 times a week if I'm lucky, and it's like, you know, that I just feel like that.
The important thing I think too is you loving yourself.
Yeah.
Making the time for yourself.
I
And
try
loving
to.
yourself.
Yeah.
And it's very hard when you have a job and you're a mom and you're this, you put everybody before you.
Yeah.
And I found that when I find time for
Yeah.
myself, whether it's a walk, a yoga class, this,
Anything.
I have to do something for myself
I
every
know.
day.
I know.
So I can be a better wife, a better mother, a better lover, a better employee, a better friend. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I'm
And
still new
it's
on
not
that. I'm still
selfish.
new on that journey.
It's not
you know?
selfish,
Being,
you know?
Being a mom, I think, has definitely changed the way, you know, like I do things now, you know, where it's like when I didn't have a child, I could be more selfish. I could do things myself.
Right.
I didn't have to worry about making my schedule for every little thing that I have to do. And so it becomes, you know, like,
You'll get
it's
it, though.
over.
You adjust to it.
I don't mean to interrupt, but I definitely want to just make an announcement. Tomorrow, actually, we're going to be debuting the new Enravio van. So we really want you to come down. Yes. So I want to make sure that everybody comes down to the parade in Santa Mauritius tomorrow at 2 p.m. So that's going to be on Sunday at 2 p.m. at Santa Mauritius. They're going to be debuting the Enravio van, and let me tell you, come down. They're going to be having tons of giveaways. We also want to encourage you guys to call in tonight. So it's 1-855-446-7284. That's 1-855-446-7284. Please call in, ask a question to Cindi, and Gale is still, you know, hanging in with us. So if you got a question for Gale, please. I'm still seeing my white picket fence. But anyway, yeah, giveaways in Ravio's van tomorrow, Santa Mauritius. Please come down. Okay, see you guys there. So, where in Santa Mauritius? Right in the village. Okay, so it's going to be in the village. So come down.
I would want to take the van out.
Yeah.
Can I take the van out?
Because it can't have any dents in it tomorrow. It's got, It's brand new.
I have a clean driving record.
Just
talk
put
about
us
that.
under hypnosis while we're driving.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. But yeah, no, and Cindi, can you give us a little bit of the
You do so many things.
clairvoyant type of.
Well, you know,
Cindi.
I've reinvented myself many times in this particular lifetime. I've had many different jobs, but I am a writer as well. So that's my book, Grant Me a
Oh my
Higher
gosh,
Love.
let's talk about the book.
It's a big book. Love's a big topic. It's you know, it's a big book.
Let's see a higher love. Well, first of all, I love that song. Give me a higher love. Like
She sang it.
But
Yeah, she sang.
but this is a really, really wonderful book.
And
so
you can get it on Amazon.
Right, Amazon.com. And it took me a long time to write it. And basically, there's 19 steps to a higher love because somewhere along the line we're derailing our relationship. A lot of times it's a commitment issue. People aren't committing to love. They got one foot in, one foot out. They don't know if they're staying or going. And I'll say, love can't be fixed that way. You either stick 2 feet back in your marriage, heart, soul, mind, body, commit, be that lover, put your, what's happened in the past behind, or you take 2 feet out and separate. You can't keep this going on forever. Because nobody heals, it fixes nothing. People have to realize, I'm really serious, I'm in. I always tell my clients, try 3 months in. If you have children, God usually asks about a year, but 3 months completely in, all bets are off if there's abuse or anything like that. And then take 2 feet out because people have to be serious that we're not here to enable them. That's like you made your bed lie in. It's the biggest enabler. It's probably the worst propaganda ever given to human beings.
Yeah.
Because what it says is, you fell for the prince, I'm the beast, no, you got to stay here and suffer. My feelings are there's no more of that.
Yeah.
You have to treat people with respect. You have to treat them back the same way. Because otherwise, what's happening is toxic love teaches war to our children. They see fighting. Mediocre is Cold War. There's no communication. And soulmates teach peace, love, and joy. And healing. So we really got to work at showing our children a better way of interacting than we may have seen. It doesn't mean you go on judging your parents forever. You realize life is hard.
You know what's bizarre? I have never seen my parents fight. Never have seen my parents fight. And it's, I've seen them fight. It's bizarre. But I've never seen my parents fight. They communicate. I've seen them fight more as adults. Like now that I have my own kids, like I see them get into arguments. But as a child, my parents never fought.
Wow.
Ever. My father
if they did, they were behind closed doors.
If they did, I never saw
Well, see, that's what my parents did, but then they got divorced, and it was horrible. It was horrible.
My parents got divorced and then got back together. Bizarre, okay, but
your parents didn't get divorced. But they took 2 steps out, as you said,
and then they got back in.
Now, that's exactly the concept of it going.
And that's what they needed to.
And that's what they needed. Yes, but like you say that, I guess maybe we're taking on his parents. I don't know, but and I find that and it makes me upset sometimes too because me and my husband will fight and have things. I've never seen my parents fight, but we're very love hard. Fight everything is 100%, 100%.
Well, you're both intense people.
We're very if we're doing it, we're doing it.
You
know what I'm saying?
You guys are both type A.
You know what I mean? We're doing it.
Both type A.
If we're gonna fight, we're gonna fight, and if we're gonna be in love with each other, if we're gonna do this, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
And sometimes I wish that we could just
sometimes it's almost getting down, mistaking maybe drama for passion. They're not the same. You can be very passionate with no drama. There's a lot of peace and there's a lot of passion. But the drama sometimes,
way.
Because the whole drama, being near, people sometimes they stir each other up. They bring, maybe you're both high strung. Maybe you do your little hypnosis. You calm yourself down and you respond a little bit differently to him. Ask him, well, what are you saying? What do you mean? Instead of feeling like you're in each other's face and you're trying to prove something, because it sounds more like you have his parents' marriage going on, whether you know it or not. So
it ain't mine.
You're ill-prepared for it. But even if you had parents who really were perfect, they really were soulmates, they maintained it, you still have to sign on for his parents' marriage. So if they fought like cats and dogs, you might be a nice person, but all of a sudden you're down there in the dirt with him after a while, because even a patient person's going to have a bad moment. So it's kind of hard to say, what came first, the chicken or the egg, but it's realizing, why don't we find a new way today? Let's stop with what we've been doing. You can't change him, but you can change how you respond to him. And even, I was married 29 years the first time.
Wow.
And I realized that I had allowed a lot to go, swept under the carpet, and I tried to just, I didn't want to fight. We had those really bad fights, and I said, I don't want to do that anymore. But after a while, if you don't communicate and you keep, shoving it under the carpet, you're going to not have a marriage.
Right.
So your parents may very well not have fought because, once they had you don't want to fight in front of your children.
Right.
But that's actually, there's a difference between fighting and communicating, not letting too much go under the carpet, but realizing that I had allowed a lot to take place that I shouldn't have. So if I had put a foot down in the beginning, acceptable ways of talking and communicating. I mean, some people get very angry, and when they're angry, they curse, they get mad, and then they say, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, means you don't do it again.
Right.
And even Jesus said you forgive 7 times 70 times. He didn't say 7 gazillion times. And 70 different sins times 70 per person, not the same one. So even if you're always the person that curses when you get mad or says mean things, there's a point with a person where it's one too many mean things. I mean, that's literally what happened. It was like one too many.
Yeah, you were done.
I had enough. So it's realizing, and it's sad because people love each other, or perhaps if I had taken the 2 feet out earlier in the marriage and said this is not acceptable, and I'm sure I did things he couldn't stand either, but realizing that you have time now to fix it.
Right.
And what God would ask, you either fix it or you leave it. But to do nothing is negative karma. You keep coasting about 5 years doing nothing. That's when God says, well, I'm going to fix it here. Maybe the next hurricane, I'm nuking your house. Now, you and your husband can figure out where you're going to live after this.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm getting here, and if you're staying with your husband for money because, maybe you don't think you could support yourself, then God will take your husband's job from you, or his health, and now you have to get a job. So it's, if you do nothing, after all, the universe kicks you in the butt and moves you forward, and it hurts a lot more.
Yeah.
So if you really see you're down here, chart every day. Okay, we're soulmates today. We're really down here. Your stock is worth nothing. If you flatline at mediocre, it's a question of 5 years before even
time.
What do you mean by mediocre, though? Like, what do you mean?
Kind of like a sitcom marriage. You watch them, they take each other for granted. They don't really communicate. Sometimes, you're mommy to a boy, or there's, you're just really not making love. You're really not having time for each other. Maybe the kids are just coming first all the time. Important babies come first for about 2 years, but the soulmate couple should be the primary unit. The children are a product of that. They go off and find their own soulmate. I mean, you could see in America, we're raising some of the most narcissistic, judgmental children in the history of the world.
Oh, God,
So we're trying to be perfect parents.
Right.
Good enough is enough.
Yeah, good enough.
Right.
I say to my daughter, Shauna, you lost me at the guilt. I hang up on her, and I'm like, in the history of the world, I'm a phenomenal mother. I didn't beat you, burn you, molest you.
Right.
Really knock me off here. But it's a little bit.
It's so true. I watched a show, and they were saying that even a lot of relationships suffer because when they get married, the love is the love, and then it's them, and then all of a sudden then they have children, and then the children become the center of their universe. When really they should put themselves first, their husband second, and their children third.
Right.
Because you'll never, once the children leave the nest, it's you and him.
And after you haven't talked in 20 years,
then what do you have?
You have nothing.
And you don't even know that person.
Keeping that, making the date night, including your children in it. Ask them, does mommy look pretty? Do you like this lipstick? Is daddy going to like this dress? Get them excited by it, allow them to have a nice babysitter, they get popcorn, they get a coloring book, whatever.
Oh, yeah.
And then the next day you talk about what fun you had, so that they'll go off and have their own little date.
Yeah, well, Donna could say she played with some toys.
We had toys. But my kids know we have date night.
Yeah, but that's great.
My kids will say,
they appreciate that,
Mom, you look pretty. Is Daddy taking you on a date?
Oh, birthday.
So and I think that's good. And I think that when you show children that you still do that, it helps them to respect you
and you're the couple.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's it's very important.
And you stand together, because otherwise, over time, you just find yourself, not really with a lover. So maybe a brother and sister relationship. And the worst wake-up call is to be brought another soulmate. You're not soulmates anymore. The universe says, hey, you're showing your children a pretty lousy version of love here. Sometimes an affair is the wake-up call to either fix your marriage or leave it. And it can be fixed from that if people talk about and communicate why it may have occurred, and both people taking some responsibility that maybe they weren't loving each other the way
Yeah,
they should.
yeah.
I mean, that's a hard thing because people come very screaming, and I don't
Right.
allow my clients to yell. You got to put that outside the door here.
Yeah.
We're going to put the cards on the table.
Yeah.
Well, you had no time for him. Well, I was busy. I was doing this. Really? For like a year and a half, you had no time for him?
Yeah.
So think
Yeah.
about
You gotta
it.
make the time.
You have to make the time. You have to put
It's
it
so
as a
important.
priority.
Yeah.
And you make it work. And, because divorce is a financial and emotional earthquake. So
it
if you
is.
figure about investing in your marriage, taking some time
Yeah.
to make that important, it's better than to realize now we got a divorce.
Well, you started somewhere. You know what I mean? Like Carolyn's new. She's the newest in the relationship. No, but out of the four of us. And we all started there. We all started with the, I love that person. I feel, that infatuation, not infatuation, but that love of,
that connection.
That connection, like this is my soulmate. So she's at that stage in her life. And, we all are in different stages. Donna's got 3 children. Anne's on her 2nd now. I'm on 1.
Yeah.
And we're all kind of following like the circle of
Around.
And I think within those timelines, I mean, our parents have gone through it, we're going through it, but I think that we're a little bit more aware, I think, than our parents were.
Well, nobody gave anybody tools to
No,
fix
but
it.
I think we are a generation of how we are getting
But you
older
know what
and
I
older.
think you
we're
knew
learning.
too? Like we have a lot of stuff, and
Yeah.
we have way more stuff than our parents
Yeah.
did. I mean, there's just so much more going on.
Well,
like, you know what I'm
technology
saying?
alone.
Like, there's just so much more going on. And like I said
think that?
yesterday, oh my God, my parents did stuff, but they do not do
But
all
it's
the
different
things
stuff.
that we do.
Yeah.
They did
It's
different
just
stuff.
different.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say we had more on our
Yeah.
plates. They had just as much
Well,
on
my
their
mother
plates.
didn't work until like they got divorced, so I could see that, like how it's different.
I think that there's way more stuff. And even my parents say, you guys do too much. You do too much. the
Yeah,
stuff that
maybe.
we do, like,
Yeah.
they had the same cars. We
Yeah.
get leases. They
Right,
get new,
right.
I mean, just all this stuff.
It's excess.
And even
And
when we
there's
have
always
a fight,
something that's
though,
breaking every day.
yeah, but even when, like, say yesterday, Richie and I had a stressful day. You go to bed at night, you know what I'm saying? You lay next to each other, and you still feel that safety. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that that's important. That at the end of the day, like, you had your fight, you got it out, or whatever it was. Like,
Yeah.
even if you're not totally made up, you still lay in bed and you still have that connection. You
Yeah.
don't want to be anywhere else.
Yeah.
That's how I think it
Do you
was
know
with
what I'm
our
saying?
with our parents as well. I don't think that it's any different then than it is now. It was just
No,
different.
that's not what I'm saying. I'm just
like,
saying
we
that-
have accountants that do our taxes. They sat at the table for 5 hours and did
They
taxes.
did their taxes,
So
yeah,
they had
yeah.
stuff. It was just different stuff,
Yeah,
And
that's
I went
true.
to dancing school, and I went to horseback riding, and I went to tennis lessons, and I went to sports, and I did. They took me everywhere. They did everything with me. So they had stuff. Like I
It
don't
makes me
agree
think-
that.
Yeah, but I
that
think it was
any
worse for them.
different.
I
No,
think
but
it was
they
worse
didn't
for
have
them.
a cell phone.
Why?
Where
Because
you
they
know,
had-
somebody bugs you 24/7.
Yeah.
That's
They didn't
the
know
stress.
different,
And
though.
If my
No, no,
car
no,
broke
yeah.
down when I was a teenager, I didn't call my parents. I didn't have a phone. I had to get the kindest of strangers. to-
Yeah.
10 hours later, when they're watching TV, and they go, "So where were you? I had a flat tire. Okay, is it fixed? Yeah, okay."
Right,
Now,
right,
but we
right,
have
right.
everybody calling us with
Yeah.
every little stress
Yeah.
on
Yeah,
their plate. And
I
this
think
went wrong and
it's
that went wrong.
Right.
That in itself is making people a little stressed out.
But I think it works both ways. You had stress because you didn't even have a phone to call anybody, and you had to try to fix your own tire.
Right.
Now you have stress because you got 15 people calling you. So I think it almost even balances it out in the different ways that we had technology or we didn't have lack of technology. When I got lost and I didn't have GPS back in the day, let me tell you something. I was stressed out the whole way to wherever I was going.
Right,
So
right.
now I have GPS. It's better. But you know what? Now I have 15 people trying to text me while I'm driving. But that's not better. You know, like I think it's just different times.
Stress is if something's wrong in their life, you hear it every minute almost. It's like,
Right,
you
yeah.
have your own stresses, and then you have your child calling you, and this person calling you with their stresses. I mean, I have an expression, what would you do if I were dead? And I hang up. You got to start doing it.
Yeah.
Right, but
Yeah.
you call me every minute
Yeah.
that this is a problem and that's a problem, because then we don't have space for our own thoughts and
Stuff.
our own stuff.
Yeah.
So true.
So the stress level is almost because it's 24/7.
We have a couple minutes left, so I just don't mean to shift gears. But we talked about you being a relationship coach, and then I wanted to also touch on the mediumship and that
The
kind of
psychic
stuff,
medium.
the psychic mediumship before
Right. The
we have to
psychic
sign off.
medium is interesting. It's helps a lot whenever I'm doing guidance for people. The universe doesn't just tell me things. They use my intellect. They use my knowledge. They use my knowledge of psychology, the classification of love that was channeled to me or that I created, who knows where it came from. So it's a dialogue between you, me, your spirit guides, those people have crossed over. It's not a parlor game. I actually hate the word psychic. It's like a circus act.
Yeah.
I'm really a mystic.
Right.
When they come and say, I'm not going to tell you anything, just look at the cards. I go, okay, if you're sick and you go to a doctor, and you say, well, I'm not going to tell you at all what's wrong, and you just figure it out. You may end up with the wrong leg amputated. I mean, a doctor has a chart, they give blood work, they have things. So I'll tell people, look, I can figure out 90% without you saying one word. But I would like to be a lot more accurate than that. So I'm going to ask you a question. Well, you should know that you're psychic. Excuse me? Are you going to waste my psychic energy on, are you married? Do you know if you're married?
Right.
You don't know about your
I'm not going to wear my ring tonight. She's not going to know.
About your husband who's cheating
I've
that
done
you
that.
may not know about, okay?
Let's get to that.
So I'm just saying, if you're going to waste, people who play the parlor game, even their spirit guides will go, just play the game. Tell them whatever they want to hear and get them out of here. It's a waste of energy.
So when you do this, right, and I know that there's mediumship involved. So you also can tap into and see those spiritual guides.
Right, and people have crossed over.
And people
and sometimes people say,
is this room
I want to
full?
know who's yeah, they're always full. Well, who's giving the information? And sometimes I'll say, sometimes they'd rather not say it because people, when they cross over, are profoundly different. So giving the obvious example of you made your bed, lie in it from a father, he's the one telling me a lot of information about how rotten that woman's husband is. Now, if I say your dad's saying that, who loved this man on earth, you're going to say, it's not my father. So after it comes out, I'll say, it was your father, by the way. And they'll go, really? I go, but if I told you that in the beginning, you may not believe it's your father. I trust a source. And if they don't want to acknowledge who they are, I'm just as happy. I trust the source. I also don't trust the source. I know who's lying. Beings will lie from the other side. I'm like, in my head, I'll say to them, very bad karma to lie from the grave. Now, I know damn well you're lying. So you want me to deliver the lie.
That's terrible.
So I'll deliver it, but I'm also going to say you're lying. And you know that notch in the level that you are right now, which you think is like the lowest realm you can go, there's another trap door. You can just go lower. So think twice. I will
Why would they want to do that?
Because you don't change just because you die. Some people do. They get better if they're alcoholics, drug addicts, their body's gone, they don't have an addiction, they're better. Other people are manipulative, judgmental.
Yeah, it's like you just know they're not changing.
They're not, and maybe not in 10 lifetimes.
Yeah.
They really have certain personality traits.
Do you think you come back?
I was going to ask you that.
Well, when we were talking about born, I would probably finish this on the dysfunction. Remember you were saying why, some people born into dysfunction. I'm a very old soul with many lifetimes that was born into great dysfunction. If God asks me again in the next lifetime, I'm saying, I got your number, God.
Yeah.
There's a free will.
Like, if you need me to do it, I can do it.
Sucker. No, you give it to another sucker.
I've
been there, done that.
Oh, okay.
Because if you put a person with a history of addiction in with people with a history of addiction, you just get another addict.
Oh, yeah.
You put an old soul who could be raised by wolves. They've had a lot of lifetimes. They're going to turn out okay.
Yeah.
They take it on to end the dysfunction that's been going on in the family for thousands of years. They take it and they end it. So when people hear, look, you were born in this not because you were mean in your last lifetime and you deserve this. You were born in it to end it. And
never
it
thought of it
gives
that
a
way.
little different energy than thinking, why did God do this? What did I do to deserve this? Nothing.
Cindi,
Again,
that's very enlightening.
and that's why I say
that's the aha moment.
That's the aha moment for all of us. Why were we born? Because we're going to end it.
Well, on that note.
You have done.
On that note, right?
Right, on that note, some of us are born in it to end it. Again, if God asks me again, I'm saying hell no. Not this, not another lifetime.
Well, because you've done it. You know what I mean?
I've done
like,
it was hard.
Like, I know about this world. I know I've been through it, and I'm done.
Right,
you know what I mean? But I'm like, all right, like.
So you born into two soulmates.
What are you going to do? Right, exactly.
That I don't mind.
Yeah. This isn't my first go around either.
This is it.
So, that's a whole. We got to have enough.
That's a whole other conversation.
Gail and Cindi, we're going to have you back on very soon. I just
wonderful.
want to say one more time again. Tomorrow in Radio is going to be at the Santa Mauritius in the Village at 2 p.m. on Sunday. So if you guys want to come down and really visit the new van and check us out, we've got tons of giveaways. Please be there. We'd love to see you. So with that.
Yes. So thank you for joining us this month.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you to
Yes.
Cindi, beautiful baby.
Oh,
Cindi.
is it? You
Very
can sing?
awful. Very
Yes.
awful.
Knows right from wrong.
Yes. Say your website just so everybody, if they want to get in touch with
Very
you.
easy to remember. It's Grant Me a Higher Love. Think Steve would bring me a higher love.
Yeah.
Except God has to grant us a higher love.
Yes.
We get the level of love we deserve.
Go out and
You
get
deserve a higher
Amazon.com.
Gail? Yes, thank you so much. And so we'll be back next month. And
The next show.
yes, it's
Badass people.
Badass people. We're gonna
Badass.
have some badass people and talk about some badass things.
yes.
So-
And we're having a fashion show.
Yes, and we're having a fashion show. Yes, so come on back. We're gonna have some badass fashion. So.
Oh, Wookie Head. Oh, we got somebody who said, Wookie Head, great show. You girls are hot.
Oh.
Give me a couple months, Wookie Head.
Yeah. Wait until she pops that puppy out.
Yeah.
Right?
The milk over here.
Then we can just focus on the cleavage.
I know.
Well, thank you. Honestly,
Thank you.
call in next time. We want to hear from you guys. Have a great night.
Yes. Till next time. Thank you.